Hello, YouTube fans. Here again. And I figure why not, without ado, do this one. That being The Blob from 1958 to 1988. That means The Blob from 58 versus the 88, The Blob. And this one, you know what I think about remakes. You think, they know what I think about remakes. In my eyes, remakes suck ass. They suck assholes. But on this occasion, I think this was a remake but was done the right way. Remember when I was talking about the remakes I like, and not the ones I think suck asses? The ones what I think are underestimated, the ones what I think are dud. This is one of them. This is one of them. This is a remake, which I must hold my hand up, is a good one. So we're going to go with this. We're going to go with it. Now, as you know, the same director were giving us A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, The Dream Warriors, did this one. Before that, let's go into the 1958 one. I actually like the 58 one. Over the years, not me, I grew up, I first saw the 88, The Blob. So the 58 one was a bit dated. But over the years, it's going on me. A bit like The Blob, it's going on me. Because when you think about it, you had two decent things about The Blob. Chief Mateen, one of the most damn good actors ever. May he rest in peace. Did all date films, whether it be the Getaway, whether it be Bullet, whether it be the date, look at Vendetta, whether it be the date Escape, I meant to say, would it be one of my favourite prison estate films, that being Papillon. This was this big break, I meant to say. Bob's fucking up my words. And, it's a typical B sci-fi, B monster film. That's what it was. And Steve McKean is the only highlight of the film. The other actors, see that over there? See that over there? For the original, a block of fucking wood. A block of wood would do a better performance than any of the other actors. Steve McKean signs every one of them actors. I don't mind the dirt that base his defending it, his love interest. You know what I mean? Steve McKean's his typical teen boy, really nice, really cheap. But I felt the effects for the blob, even though people make fun of the blob, I thought the effects for its time was pretty good. You had a bit of stop motion, you had other things, give you that blob, you had a bit of matte painting. The effects for that era was pretty decent. You know what I mean? It's just saying the acting was naff. You've got one scene in it, he dies it like a cheat, so, and he's going to smash a window. And he stands there for half an hour staring at this fucking brick. I remember my mate watching the original 58 Blob, and even he took the piss, said, "What's taking him so long to smash this fucking window? It's there, the box in front of you, stood there thinking about it. Don't think about it, do it." And the way they defeat the blob was a bit anti-matter. I know it was the 50s. They all got fire extinguishers, MBO 2, whatever it was called, to get rid of the blob. And, the acting's is there. But then we get to the 88 blob. I love the way the blob is. It's bigger, it's more frightening. You get the idea when it kills people because they couldn't get away with it in 1958. Couldn't get away with it, you know what I mean? So the 80s one, you get to see what it does. It just shows people. It's a bodied out film. There's a bit where it dies down the top of the field, and there's every 2 minutes saying, Vicky, Vicky, Vicky. And next thing you know, it gets sticky thicker. The blob comes out and completely utter massacres him. I always remember the bit where the woman's in this phone booth and she's trying to call for help, and you got the blob coming down and it just slashes through the fucking phone box and turns it to muss. And there's one guy you might remember in Elm Street 3, which is iconic, it's the same directors. And it jumps out, gets him in the face, and brings him to the fucking thing, totally massacres him. And this blob really was ballsy. It was ballsy because when I first saw the 80s blob, there's a bit in it where you've got a kid, you think you're not going to see a kid get killed, it drags him in the water, you think any minute now the kid's going to come back, your typical, oh, you're not going to kill a kid. But it does, it's ballsy. Kid comes out, but it's professionally done. I'll say it again, professionally done. It's not half an hour of a kid melting, screaming in fucking agony. It comes out, it steams a bit, drags him in the water again, that's it. So I did that film it's doing. It was professionally done. It wasn't poor taste, is what I'm getting at. And I know, in the early 70s, they did one called Return of the Blob. It was either the Son of the Blob or Return of the Blob. What was directed by Larry Hapman. That's like JR himself. And in all fairness, thank fuck, Larry Hapman did Dias, paid the legendary character being JR, because his directing fucking sucks. And it was the acting. If people want to boo-hoo the acting in the '58 one, they really, really have to look at the 1972 Return of the Blob. It fucking sucks. It sucks asses. But this one, being the '80s one, the remake, this was how you do it the right way. This is how you do it the right way. The scene with the old man. Remember the scene where the blob jumps on his hands and he's fuming and adding it. The '80s one does it better. You can get the idea he's in pain. He's trying to cut his hand off with a fucking axe. A fucking axe. And it doesn't even let him do that. And I like the idea, got the lad in it. You think he's going to be like a chief machine character. He's more like the rebel without a jaws. You think the other lad's going to be like the chief machine character. And it kills him. It melts him and his hand comes off. Everything what the '50s one does, the '80s one manipulates you. It manipulates. You think the nice teen boy is going to be the main character, he gets killed. The Rebel Without the Jaws character is our main lead. And I mean, it's sci-fi, it's horror. A lot of people booed it from the '50s one because the '50s one, as we know, it was tied with a meteorite, it was a dinky winky little blob, and it was an alien from outer space. Where the '80s one, it was an experiment. It got out of hand and it goes around killing people. Like I say, it kills a fucking kid, kills an old guy, doesn't give a fuck, even kills women, doesn't give a fuck. If you get in its way, you're fucking dead. And I mean, there's some bit of stop motion in it. The '80s one's a bit dated now in that scene, but again, it's just a love letter from the '58 Blob. And I like the way they outsmart it. I think the '80s one, they outsmart it a lot better. Like I said, the '50s one, you got all these lads running around with fire extinguishers, and I think he says it, and it's so fucking slow. You there, man. You there, lying in your bed. You could go to fucking feet by the time the '58 one gets you. When the '80s one, it doesn't fuck about. It's got tentacles, it fattens out, it fucking kills you. No fucking about. And it's an underestimated film. What pisses me off is the '80s one, you could very rarely get on DVD, you very rarely get it on Blu-ray. It bombed, even though it had good reviews. When it first came out, there was a lot of reviews on different newspapers and different news articles. Some say it was better than the '50s one. Some people say it was a good sci-fi horror, but over the years, it wasn't that successful. And it's a shame. It's a shame. Because I actually like it. I like the '50s one. I like the scene where the cop is playing test and he's paid by himself and he uses a walkie-talkie before you ever had the looks of your Facebook. I like that little touch. I thought that was had a few laughs when it came out. I like the old woman in it who's trying to clean up the house. I like a bit of the doctor gets it, but again, you don't see that much because it was the '50s, it was a different era, it was a different time. But that's what I mean. The '80s one improved on that. It was more bloodthirsty. It was more gruesome. What you don't expect, you get. It manipulates you from the '50s one. What else I like? Everybody knows the 1958, the Blob, the scene where the people are running out the cinema and then you've got the Blob coming out, the iconic trailer. It does it in the '80s one, but it does it better. You got people running out the theatre, just like in the '50s one. But then you get to see what it does in the theatre. No fucking about. It's throwing people about here, there, everywhere. And you've got this one scene in it where you think there's a woman. She goes to help this woman, and half her face is like melted on one side. The only bit I weren't keen on was a typical sequel bait ending. You've got a priest. He's half blind in one eye, and you got like a little blob sewing. He says, "It will come. The sign will come," and it never went nowhere because they never made a sequel. There've been talks about making a remake again by Rob fucking Zombie. Don't do it. Don't do it. You killed Halloween. Don't kill the blob. We don't want to see a CGI blob effing and jeffing. But the 80s one was how you did it. I'd love to have seen a sequel. I would have loved to have seen a sequel. Sad to say, it wasn't that successful, so it never did. It never was to be. So the bit with the piece, there's a sign. You could just cut that out. Just have the ending where it's snowing and they defeat the blob, and that would have been it in my eyes. That would have been it. But I don't mind the 80s one. Like I say, it's an unestimated remake, and it's a remake that's done the right way. The 50s one I like for the B monster film, but in all fairness, the only thing what got going for it is Chief Machine and the fucking blob. The rest of the actors, I think just two shits about. In this, I like every character. So when they got killed, you didn't want them to die, but I like the way they got killed. It was creative. It was bloodthirsty. I keep repeating it. Don't give a shit about kids. Don't give a shit about women. Don't give a shit if you're an old timer. It will fucking get you. I like the way they outsmarted it. I think that was done better. I like the fact in the theatre was done better than the cinema. I like the fact that the scene when they watched an horror movie, which is kind of a love letter to all these slasher films. You want to watch that other film. Everything about it, I love. So it's a remake, in my eyes, done the right way. So there's no competition. None. I'll give the 58 one that. I don't mind it, but I don't love it. But I think the only two decent things is Chief Machine and the Blob. The rest of the actors, rewind back, don't give a shit about. But the 80s one, fuck it. I give it a 4-star rating. It's a damn good remake, and what they did in the 50s one, I think the remake did it better. That's a lot of things a lot of remakers need to learn today, which they don't, because they're fucking stupid. But nevertheless, be smart, be safe. I'll see you later.